How many of you are married? Okay. So I want to talk about women in your life. Right? Don't look at me. I'm looking at you. So who wants to take this question?
Boss, agenda was something else.
I know.
Boss, agenda was something else, boss. You got us in some other pretext.
No. This is the same agenda. So who's driving you? Ganesh, I know Meena is driving you, right? Who's driving? Meena or you? Who's driving the cart? Who's driving the cart? She's there. Meena, you want to join us? Please come. I have a chair. Yeah, you come here, please. No, I want you here. You're the only worst person here. Come. Here, to the lady. Yeah. So whose idea it is to first build the companies and then sell them? Yours or Ganesh? How do you think about it?
See, Ganesh has sometimes this bright idea, kuch karenge, then I have to do it. When I'm tired of doing it, I say, Ganesh, get rid of it.
So Ganesh, what do you do?
I make other people do the ideas that I come up with.
Brilliant.
No, it's like, I'm sure most of you have heard this, okay, right? So I take all the, so even at the cost of repetition, between us, we have our responsibilities very clear, okay, right? So all the major decisions, whether it be at home or in the company, is taken by me. All the minor ones, I delegate to her, okay, right? Okay, right?
You want to respond to that?
For example, which school should my daughter and son go to? Which course he or she should take? What career they should follow? All these are Meena's decisions. But who should be the next president of US? Who should be the next prime minister? The major decisions are all mine. Okay?
Brilliant. You want to respond to that?
That doesn't deserve a response.
Okay, excellent. Wow. So, Sanjeev, you've been married a long time and you've gone through a struggle, exhilaration, different cycles. How's it been for you? What was the role of the family?
No, I think every entrepreneur in this room knows that, to be an entrepreneur in India, you need a very supportive family because, frankly, there's not much else to fall back on. So when I started out, for example, we bootstrapped for 10 years before we raised venture capital. So you were doing more with less. You were doing 7 different things to stay afloat. And at that point in time, if there's pressure at home in terms of expectations of earning money, right? So in the first 10 years, for 6 years, off and on, I could not take any money from the company. So if there's any expectation, any pressure from home, I think, that tells on an entrepreneur. So I think entrepreneurs do need very, very supportive families. And I think a lot of the stuff that, the success that comes and the entrepreneurs talked of as being successful, I think a lot of the sacrifices have been made by the family.
I agree. And I remember Deepa telling me an incredible story of yours. Bulletproof cars, nothing to do. What happened?
Before I come to that, I'll tell you, and this is for all the married men here, right? So a friend taught me this. It's been working. So if you pick 2 words, very nice, I think you bought happiness in your married life, right? So like...
very nice.
For everything, you just have to say very nice. Yeah, how am I looking today? Very nice. Let's go out to eat. I said, very nice. Let's go for Chinese. I said, very nice. But yesterday only we had Chinese. Let's go for Indian. I said, yeah, very nice. So I think this fits everywhere. So if you just follow these 2 words, I guarantee you, very rarely will you land up in trouble and you'll have a very, very smooth marriage.
So there I want to talk to the 2, you recently got married. You got used to this idea of very nice?
Well, I didn't have mentors of that nature to begin with because I think these kind of forums are required and they weren't there for a few years ago.
So give you advice on this?
Just to get to know this.
Excellent.
Just don't make the mistake I did. I got so carried away. Few times I said very nice before she actually said the question.
So where are you, Sachin? Who's behind you?
Yeah, I've been married 4 years now. I have gotten used to the very nice idea as well.
Very good.
I think, which is good. I think I agree with Sanjeev that you need to have very supportive families. In the very early days, I remember when I just got married, and we were working out from a very small, shabby office. Used to eat out sometimes. So I didn't show my office to my wife for a long time, that she will think bad about it, that where am I working and all that. One day she just dropped in that it's enough, I want to see where you work. From that day onwards, I started getting lunch. So it was, so that I think it's important to get the family involved. That was a learning for me, to get the family involved, to see what you are going through. After that, I got her involved more and more, and it helped. I think she was very supportive, and we were very, very forgiving in terms of timings or whatever. So it was very good.
So Deep, now you've thought about structured response, I am A style, to very nice problem.
Nothing left to say. I mean, besides Ganesh has gone up even further in my esteem. I mean, clearly Ganesh has done many things which most of us haven't. No, I think in my case the formula was very simple. My wife was very supportive. I'm totally with Sanjeev in saying that, and we've never worked together. So one rule is that I think you should not work together at all. And the logic for that is you've got to be the boss somewhere. So, when you go to work, you can feel the boss. So that's my very nice. But I think on a more serious note, my wife was very clear on one thing, that, you've got to come home happy. And she saw me at the latter part of 2 jobs, not being happy at all. So whether it was banking or GE Capital in the end, and, coming home, that spirit going. So she says, whatever you do, you've got to come home happy. And, then if you come home happy, means, everything's fine, and the money and everything will work itself out.
There were times when you carried stress home?
I think it still happens. I think, we like to say we compartmentalize this, but, thoughts, no one can stop, of course. It's just about how you deal with that. I think, kids are great stress busters. And sometimes, of course, they give their own stress when they become teenagers, as mine has just become a teenager. But they can be very good stress. And the family is a great stress buster. You just have to have rules, I think, like, perhaps no calls and emails, during mealtime. Those 2 hours you get at night, most of us get. We, probably join the family for dinner on the table if you're lucky. And you get a couple of hours. And I think those hours, if you can keep free of calls, and then you can do your email and calls late at night or whatever, I think that's a good formula. And that seems to be working, yes.
So let's switch tracks. So I want to see how often you say very nice to your investors. Have you learnt it in Japanese, Naveen? No, you were here.
No, I only know arigata right now, which is thank you. So I keep on saying thank you to them. But I think
Can you raise the...
I think the key with at least what we have felt and found, that the key to investors, key to dealing with investors, is being very similar to the key of dealing with the wife, is being extremely transparent about what's happening, what's working, what's not working, and what the reality of it is. We have found from the early days of the company that having that approach to it has helped us in making sure that the investors are always on the same page and are not unnecessarily questioning us, but rather helping us in the process of fixing a lot of the things. Because the reality is, I don't know of a company yet who's not had problems. And if you have not had problems, then you probably don't even need investors. But if you have investors, and if you have a business which is you're trying to grow at a fairly fast pace, you're going to have tons and tons of issues. You might as well have more people helping you out on that. And I've seen a lot of people try and not share and be very open with the investors, but I think it's very similar to how you deal at home.
Just sort of exploring this thought of, there have been different investors in your business, starting from angel investors, then Silicon Valley investors, KPCB, and now a large strategic global investor like SoftBank. What do you see in difference in expectations from their side? You are transparent, and I know you're transparent, and you share your problems, and you pivot more often than you comb your hair. But what do you see from their side?
I don't think the difference is in terms of, so I haven't seen the difference in terms of the expectation, because the expectation has remained pretty similar. It's just the stage of the company that requires that expectation from a thought process perspective to be far deeper. And the expectation from them has always been, are you thorough in what you're actually doing? And are you doing it in the right way? They're very worried about, you know, the people aspect of things, the strategy aspect of things, and you know, how much cash you have in the bank. And that probably does not change irrespective of what investors you have and what stage it is. So, you know, at the seed level, when we had, you know, the Mumbai Angel folks on our board, I think the questions were very similar. Even now, when we have a very different set of structure of the board, the questions are very similar, just that the, you know, our responses to those questions and our approach to those problems have just got to be far more deeper and far more thought through. Yeah, so I don't see fundamentally there being too much of a difference from that perspective, except for that now there is a, you know, now the scrutiny is far deeper.
Right.
So when the scrutiny comes in, that's when your problem solving, your strategy and your ability to go deep essentially gets out. The scrutiny being deeper is probably required, because if somebody puts in a few $100 million into the company, then, you know, they're going to be far more demanding in terms of what's happening and what's not happening.
Excellent. So we have two founders here who listed their companies. You have listed at domestic stock market, and you're facing the pressures of having your company listed at NASDAQ. So I just want you to share your thoughts. First, Sanjeev, what was it that took you to IPO? And what has been your experience in dealing with different kind of investors? And what kind of pressure, if any, it has put on the company in terms of performance and strategy?
Okay, I think first of all, why we wanted to IPO was simply for several reasons actually. So all of which was stated in the IPO document, barring one reason. So it was, you know, we want money for acquisitions, we want money for growth and expansion, we want the ESOP to have a value, we want to give an exit to investors, we want money for growth. You know, those 5-6 reasons हमने डाल दिए थे RHP में. But the sixth unstated reason